Walk into any Sainsbury's and you'll find shoppers confidently filling their trolleys, assuming they're getting decent value because, well, it's a major supermarket chain. Wrong. There are 7 specific product categories where Sainsbury's charges premium prices for mediocre quality, hides terrible unit pricing behind attractive packaging, or simply can't compete with budget retailers that sell identical items for 30 to 40% less. Most people discover this the hard way after years of overspending, but you're about to learn which departments to avoid at all costs. We're not telling you to boycott Sainsbury's entirely. We're giving you the insider knowledge that separates smart shoppers who save thousands annually from everyone else who blindly trusts that a big name means good value. It doesn't. Not in these 7 categories. Starting with the worst offender, fresh produce. Here, we are not talking about the premium taste the difference range. We're talking about the standard fresh fruit and vegetables that most people grab without thinking twice. Here's the reality. Sainsbury's charges between 25% and 40% more for basic fresh produce compared to Aldi, Lidl, and even Tesco in many cases. A bag of carrots that costs £0.45 at Aldi will set you back £0.70 at Sainsbury's. Broccoli, that's £0.89 at Lidl, £1.30 at Sainsbury's. A punnet of strawberries priced at £1.75 at Tesco suddenly becomes £2.50 the moment you walk into Sainsbury's. You're paying a massive premium for produce that's often no fresher, sometimes worse quality, and frequently has shorter use-by dates than what you'd find at budget supermarkets. We've tested this across multiple locations over several months. The pattern is consistent and honestly frustrating. But here's where it gets worse. The quality doesn't justify the price difference. We bought peppers from Sainsbury's that went soft within 3 days. The same peppers from Aldi lasted a full week. Sainsbury's tomatoes often arrive already bruised or start going mushy within 48 hours. Meanwhile, Lidl's tomatoes, at half the price, stay firm for 5 or 6 days easily. And if you think you're getting better sourcing or more ethical produce, check the labels. A significant portion of Sainsbury's standard fresh produce comes from the same suppliers as Aldi and Lidl. Same farms, same distribution networks, different packaging, wildly different prices. Ready meals and prepared food. This is the category that frustrates us most because it combines expensive pricing with genuinely questionable quality. You're getting hit twice. Let us be specific. A Sainsbury's ready meal lasagna costs around £4 to £4.50 for a single serving. The same size portion at Tesco is £3 to £3.50. At Aldi or Lidl, you're looking at £2 to £2.50 for comparable quality. That's a 50% to 80% markup for a product that's often worse than what you'd get at budget retailers. But price isn't even the main issue here. It's what you're actually eating. We've bought multiple ready meals from Sainsbury's over the past few months, and the quality is shockingly inconsistent. The pasta dishes are often mushy and oversauced. The meat portions in things like chicken, tikka, masala, or beef stroganoff are tiny and chewy. The vegetables in their prepared salads go limp within 24 hours, even when stored properly. Compare this to what you get at M&S for only £1 to £1.50 more. The M&S ready meals are genuinely restaurant quality, with proper ingredients, generous portions, and flavours that actually taste like real food. If you're going to pay £4 to £5 for a ready meal, at least get something worth eating. And here's the thing that really gets us. Sainsbury's own taste tests and customer reviews consistently rank their ready meals below Tesco, Asda, and even Iceland in blind comparisons. This isn't subjective. Their prepared food just isn't competitive in quality. Yet they charge premium prices as if they're selling something special. The prepared sandwiches and wraps from the chilled section are another disaster. A £3.50 sandwich at Sainsbury's often has dry bread, minimal filling, and tastes like it was assembled 3 days ago. The same money at Tesco gets you a noticeably fresher sandwich with better bread quality and more generous fillings. At Pret, or even a local sandwich shop, you're paying similar prices for dramatically better quality. We've also noticed that Sainsbury's ready meals have shorter shelf lives than competitors. A Tesco ready meal might give you 4 or 5 days to use it. Sainsbury's equivalent, often just 2 or 3 days. You're paying more for food that expires faster and tastes worse. That's not a good value by any definition. Fresh meat and poultry. Pay close attention here because the pricing looks reasonable at first glance. A chicken breast pack for £4.50, some mince for £3.80, and pork chops for £5. Those prices don't scream overpriced, do they? But here's what you're missing. The quality and shelf life at Sainsbury's are consistently disappointing compared to what you get at other supermarkets for similar or even lower prices. We've bought chicken breasts from Sainsbury's that had a use-by date just 2 days out. 2 days. You buy it on Monday, and it needs to be cooked by Wednesday, or it's going in the bin. Meanwhile, the same product from Tesco or Morrison's typically gives you 4 to 5 days, sometimes a full week if it's freshly stocked. That's not worth it if you have to cook it immediately or freeze it the same day. Beef mince is even worse. Sainsbury's standard mince often arrives with a use-by date that's already uncomfortably close. You're not getting value if you have to cook it immediately or freeze it the same day you buy it. And we've noticed the packaging on Sainsbury's meat often has excess liquid or looks like it's been sitting in the chiller longer than it should. But the real problem isn't just shelf life, it's consistency. Some weeks, the chicken looks fine. Other weeks, it's pale, slightly slimy, or has that off smell the moment you open the package, even though it's still within date. That's a quality control issue, and it happens far too often at Sainsbury's compared to competitors. Frozen food. You think you're getting equivalent quality to Iceland or farm foods at similar prices. You're not. Sainsbury's frozen food section looks competitive on paper. A bag of frozen chips for £1.50, fish fingers for £2, frozen vegetables for £1.80. The prices don't immediately scream rip-off, but when you compare specifications, portion sizes, and actual ingredient quality, the value proposition falls apart completely. Start with frozen vegetables. A 900-gram bag of frozen peas at Sainsbury's costs £1.80. That's £2 per kilogram. Iceland sells a 1 kilogram bag of frozen peas for £1.50. That's £1.50 per kilogram, which is 25% cheaper for more products. But here's where it gets worse. The Sainsbury's peas are often smaller and less sweet than Iceland's premium range, which cost the same £1.50. Frozen ready meals are even more deceptive. A Sainsbury's frozen lasagna serves 2 and costs £3.50. That's £1.75 per portion. Iceland's comparable frozen lasagna serves 2 for £2.50, which is £1.25 per portion. And we've compared them side by side. Iceland's version has more meat, better sauce consistency, and doesn't go watery when you cook it, like Sainsbury's does. Fish fingers are particularly bad value. Sainsbury's charges £2 for a 10-pack of standard fish fingers. That's £0.20 per finger. Bird's Eye fish fingers at Iceland cost £2.50 for a 14-pack during promotions, which works out to £0.18 per finger for a superior product with higher fish content. Sainsbury's own brand has noticeably less actual fish and more breading. Ice cream is another category where Sainsbury's quietly under-delivers. A 900ml tub of Ben & Jerry's costs £4.50 at Sainsbury's. At Iceland, the same tub costs £3 to £3.50, depending on current promotions. That's a 29% to 50% markup for ice cream that will taste identical, regardless of where you buy it. Frozen pizza is overpriced too. A Chicago Town deep dish pizza costs £2.50 at Sainsbury's. Farm Food sells the same pizza for £1.50. Iceland regularly has them on offer for £1.75. You're paying 40% to 67% more at Sainsbury's for frozen pizza that comes from the same factory, branded snacks and confectionery. This is our number one avoid at all costs category at Sainsbury's, and we have never found a good deal here, despite checking regularly for over 2 years. The markups are absolutely outrageous. A standard sharing bag of Doritos costs £3 at Sainsbury's. The same bag costs £1.50 at B&M, £1.75 at Home Bargains, and £2 at Tesco. You're paying double the price for crisps that taste identical, regardless of where you buy them. Same factory, same recipe, wildly different price tags. Chocolate bars are even worse. A Cadbury Dairy Milk 200-gram bar costs £3 to £3.50 at Sainsbury's, depending on whether there's a nectar price running. At Poundland, you can get the same bar for £2. B&M regularly stocks them for £1.75. That's a 43% to 75% markup for chocolate that expires in months, not days. Haribo and other sweets are criminally overpriced. A 180-gram bag of Haribo Star Mix costs £2 at Sainsbury's. At Home Bargains or B&M, the same bag costs £1. You are literally paying double. And before you think the quality might be different, it's not. Same packaging, same batch codes, same distribution network. Sainsbury's just charges twice as much because they can. Crisps multi-packs are particularly offensive. A 6-pack of Walker's Ready Salted costs £2.50 at Sainsbury's. That's £0.42 per bag. At Aldi, a comparable 6-pack of their own brand costs £0.89, which is £0.15 per bag. Even if you insist on branded Walkers, Tesco regularly has them for £1.75, which is £0.29 per bag. Sainsbury's charges 45% more than Tesco and nearly triple what you'd pay at Aldi. Biscuits follow the same insulting pattern. A pack of McVitie's digestives costs £1.80 at Sainsbury's. The same pack costs £1 at B&M and £1.20 at Asda. You're paying 50% more for biscuits that will taste the same wherever you buy them. And it's not just individual items. When you add up your entire weekly snack and confectionery purchases, shopping at Sainsbury's instead of B&M or Home Bargains costs you an extra £8 to £12 per week. That's £416 to £624 annually that you're throwing away on overpriced treats. We've tested this exhaustively. We cannot find a single branded snack or chocolate product at Sainsbury's that represents good value compared to discount retailers. Not one. They're all 30% to 100% more expensive for identical products. Sainsbury's knows people grab snacks while doing their main shop. They position these items near checkouts and at eye level throughout the store. They rely on convenience and the assumption that a few pounds here and there doesn't matter. But it absolutely does. Branded cleaning products. Most people assume Sainsbury's is competitive here because cleaning supplies are essential household items that every supermarket stocks. They're not luxury goods, right? So the prices should be fairly standardized across chains. Wrong. Completely wrong. Sainsbury's charges an absolute premium on branded cleaning products, and we're talking about household names like Dettol, Flash, Kill It Bang, and Fairy. A 750ml bottle of Flash bathroom cleaner that costs £2 at B&M or Home Bargains will be priced at £3 or even £3.50 at Sainsbury's. That's a 50% to 75% markup on the same product. Fairy washing up liquid is another classic example. A standard 433ml bottle costs around £1 at Poundland or £1.25 at B&M. At Sainsbury's, £2.50 to £3, depending on whether there's a Nectar price promotion running. And even with the Nectar discount, you're still paying nearly double what you'd pay elsewhere. Here's what gets us. These aren't premium products with fancy formulations. They're mass-market cleaning supplies that you can find in literally every shop in the UK. Sainsbury's isn't offering better quality or exclusive scents. It's the same bottle of Dettol spray you'd get at Asda or Wilko, but Sainsbury's is charging you 40% more for the convenience of buying it while you're already there. We've personally compared prices on Kill It Bang limescale remover across 5 different retailers. B&M had it for £2.50. Home Bargains charged £2.75. Tesco was £3. Asda matched Tesco at £3. Sainsbury's wanted £4 for the same 750ml spray bottle. Same manufacturer, same product code, £1.50 more expensive. And it's not just cleaning sprays. Laundry detergent, toilet cleaners, and air fresheners, all brutally overpriced at Sainsbury's compared to discount retailers. Toiletries and personal care products. The prices look reasonable at first glance. A bottle of shampoo for £3.50, deodorant for £2.80, and shower gel for £2.50. Nothing screams overpriced, right? Wrong. You need to calculate the unit price, and that's where Sainsbury's quietly rips you off. Let us show you what we mean. Sainsbury's sells a 250ml bottle of Head & Shoulders shampoo for £3.50. That works out to £1.40 per 100ml. The same product at Superdrug or Boots during their regular promotions costs £4 for a 400ml bottle. That's £1 per 100ml. You're paying 40% more per milliliter at Sainsbury's without realising it. Dove deodorant is another classic example. Sainsbury's charges £2.80 for a 150ml roll-on. That's £1.87 per 100ml. At Savers or Home Bargains, the same Dove deodorant costs £2 for 150ml, which is £1.33 per 100ml. Again, you're paying roughly 40% more for the same product, just because you're buying it at Sainsbury's. The packaging manipulation is sneaky too. Sainsbury's stocks smaller bottle sizes at prices that seem competitive, but when you break down the unit cost, you realise you're getting terrible value. A 250ml shower gel for £2.50. At Sainsbury's costs £1 per 100ml. The 500ml bottle of the same shower gel at Superdrug costs £3.50, which is £0.70 per 100ml. You're paying 43% more per unit at Sainsbury's. And it's not just branded products. Sainsbury's own brand toiletries follow the same pattern. Their own shampoo costs around £0.90 per 100ml when you calculate it properly. Aldi's own brand shampoo costs £0.55 per 100ml and is genuinely of comparable quality. That's a 64% price difference for essentially the same product. Toothpaste is particularly bad. A standard 75ml tube of Colgate at Sainsbury's costs £2.50, which is £3.33 per 100ml. The same Colgate toothpaste in a 125ml tube at Superdrug costs £3, working out to £2.40 per 100ml. Once again, Sainsbury's is charging 39% more when you do the actual calculation. You now know the 7 categories at Sainsbury's that are quietly draining your bank account every single week. That knowledge is power, as it translates directly into serious money saved. Shop smart and never overpay for something you can get better and cheaper 5 minutes down the road.